Stop everything, drop your phone, close your eyes for exactly 3 seconds. Now open them. Feel that shift in the air, that electric charge crawling up your spine. That's not paranoia, that's confirmation. 8 hours ago, while you were sleeping, while you were scrolling, while you were drowning in your daily performance of being okay, someone made a move. Not for themselves, not for glory, not for recognition, for you. And before you dismiss this as another motivational fairy tale, let me be crystal clear. This isn't about hope. This isn't about manifestation. This isn't about sending good vibes into the universe. This is about blood in the water and shadows with your name carved into their purpose. Someone just declared war on everything that's been holding you down. Someone just drew a line in the sand. Someone just looked at the army of doubters, manipulators, and energy vampires surrounding you and said, "No more." And the beautiful, terrifying part? You don't even know who they are yet, but they know you. Oh, they've been watching? Not like the others who watch to judge, to gossip, to tear down. They've been studying your patterns, learning your pain, memorizing every single injustice you swallowed with a smile. And 8 hours ago, they decided enough was enough. Let's rewind for a second. You felt it, didn't you? That strange sensation last night around 3 a.m. Maybe you woke up suddenly. Maybe you felt watched but not threatened. Maybe your dreams were different, clearer, like someone was whispering strategies directly into your subconscious. That wasn't random. That was the moment they made their choice. See, you've had a silent witness this whole time. Someone who saw what others missed. Someone who recognized what you were becoming while everyone else was busy trying to keep you small. They watched you forgive people who didn't deserve it. They watched you rebuild yourself in silence while your destroyers took credit for your strength. They watched you show mercy to people who showed you cruelty, and something inside them snapped. Not everyone who fights for you announces themselves with trumpets and declarations. Sometimes the most powerful allies move in shadows, dismantling your enemy's plans before they can even execute them. Sometimes protection looks like invisible hands clearing obstacles you'll never know existed. Think about the last few weeks. That job rejection that devastated you but led to something better. That relationship that ended abruptly, saving you from years of hidden toxicity. That friend who suddenly distanced themselves, sparing you from a betrayal you couldn't see coming. What if none of that was coincidence? Here's where it gets interesting. You've been noticing things, haven't you? Small things, strange things. Your enemies seem nervous lately. The people who used to challenge you openly now avoid direct confrontation. The ones who gossiped freely suddenly choose their words carefully. That's not growth on their part. That's fear. Because someone has been visiting them. Not physically necessarily, but in ways that matter, in their dreams, in their paranoia, in the sudden chills they feel when they think about targeting you again. 8 hours ago, that someone escalated. They went from defense to offense. They stopped playing guardian angel and started playing avenging force. And the universe? The universe is responding. Reality is bending. The timeline is shifting. The game board just flipped. You know that person who's been making your life hell? Check their social media. Notice anything different? A sudden change in tone? Unexplained stress? Posts about karma and consequences? That's not coincidence. That's the first wave hitting. Your mystery defender doesn't fight with fists or words. They fight with energy, with intention, with the kind of power that makes skeptics question everything they thought they knew about how reality works. They're rewriting the code of your life, line by line. But why? Why would someone go to war for you? Why would a stranger, or maybe not a stranger, risk everything to be your shadow warrior? The answer is simpler and more complex than you think. They see what you can't see, yet you've been looking at yourself through broken mirrors, through the distorted reflections your enemies created. You see flaws, failures, reasons why you deserve the pain. But this person, they see the truth. They see why you had to be stopped. Because you, my friend, are dangerous. Not in the way they painted you, not as a villain or a threat. Dangerous because you survived what should have destroyed you. Dangerous because you're proof that their system doesn't work. Dangerous because you're evolving past their ability to control. Your guardians saw this. They recognized a kindred spirit, a fellow anomaly in the matrix. And they decided that someone who fought this hard to stay good, to stay pure, to stay human, despite inhuman treatment, deserved backup, deserved protection, deserved vengeance served cold and calculated. Show me so. Think about it. Every revolutionary had their shadow support. Every world changer had someone clearing the path before they even knew there was a path to clear. You're not the exception. You're the rule, finally being honored. Let me paint you a picture of how this works. While you've been fighting in the visible realm, dealing with tangible betrayals and obvious enemies, someone else has been fighting in the spaces between, in the quantum field where thoughts become things, in the collective unconscious where intentions take root. They didn't need your permission. They didn't need your awareness. They just needed your frequency. And baby, your frequency has been screaming for justice so loud that sensitive souls 3 cities away wake up at night feeling the echo. You became a beacon for warriors looking for a worthy cause. 8 hours ago they made their move. Maybe they finally gathered enough evidence. Maybe they reached critical mass of rage on your behalf. Maybe they simply got tired of watching good people get destroyed by parasites. Whatever the trigger, they went nuclear. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to fight back anymore. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to prove your worth. Someone else just picked up that sword. Someone else just entered the arena. Someone else just said, I'll handle this. Your job now? Stay clean. Stay focused. Stay on your path. Let them handle the warfare while you handle the transformation. Let them clear the field while you prepare for what's coming next. Because this isn't just about revenge. This is about positioning. Who are they? That's what you're wondering. Who is this person willing to wage war in shadows for your benefit? The answer might surprise you. It might not be who you expect. It rarely is. The universe has a sense of humor about these things. It could be someone you helped years ago without realizing the impact. That stranger you showed kindness to when you yourself were breaking. That person you defended when it wasn't popular. That soul you saved without knowing they were drowning. Kindness has a long memory and a longer reach. Or it could be someone who simply recognizes what you represent. A fellow survivor who made it to the other side and decided to throw ladders down for others. A spiritual warrior who specializes in liberation missions. An energy worker who couldn't stand to see another light dimmed by darkness. Hell, it could even be someone who wronged you in the past, someone seeking redemption through protection, someone who finally understood what they destroyed and decided to rebuild it stronger. The universe loves plot twists that make our heads spin. But here's what matters more than their identity: their effectiveness. And if the last 8 hours are any indication, they are very, very effective. Your enemies are scrambling. Your obstacles are dissolving. Your obstacles are dissolving. Your path is clearing at a rate that defies logical explanation. Now here's where you come in. This war being waged for you isn't just about defeating enemies. It's about preparing you for what comes next. Because when the battlefield clears, when the smoke settles, when your guardian's work is done, you'll be standing in a very different world. A world where your gifts aren't suppressed anymore, where your voice isn't silenced, where your truth isn't twisted, where your energy isn't drained, where your purpose isn't questioned, where your existence isn't threatened. Do you understand what that means? It means everything you've been holding back can finally flow. Every idea they said was too much. Every dream they called impossible. Every version of yourself they said was too intense. All of it unleashed without resistance, without sabotage, without constant battle. Your guardian knows this. They're not just fighting your past battles. They're clearing the way for your future victories. They're not just removing obstacles. They're removing the entire framework that created those obstacles. They're going for the root, not the branches. And you need to prepare. Because when someone declares war for you, when someone decides you're worth fighting for, when the universe itself seems to conspire in your favor, you don't get to play small anymore. You don't get to hide. You don't get to pretend you're not chosen. 8 hours. That's all it took for your reality to shift. But this is just the beginning. What happens in the next 8 hours will make this look like a gentle breeze. What happens in the next 8 days will rewrite your entire story. What happens in the next 8 weeks will make your enemies wish they'd never known your name. Time works differently when you have backup. Synchronicities accelerate, opportunities multiply, closed doors explode open. People who ignored you suddenly can't stop thinking about you. Resources you needed appear from nowhere. The impossible becomes inevitable. But with great backup comes great responsibility. You can't waste this. You can't squander this gift. You can't go back to sleep now that you know someone is fighting for you. You have to match their energy. You have to honor their sacrifice. You have to become worthy of their war. This means no more playing victim. No more accepting less. No more dimming your light. No more apologizing for your power. No more explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. Your guardian is handling the external. You handle the internal. Clean out the doubt. Eliminate the self-sabotage. Destroy the old programming. Rebuild your identity from scratch. Because in 8 hours, someone just bet everything on your potential. Someone just declared to the universe that you matter. Someone just started a war that ends with your victory. Let me tell you something about spiritual warfare that nobody talks about. When someone truly powerful decides to protect you, reality itself becomes your ally. The very fabric of existence starts working in your favor. What seemed like luck becomes a pattern. What felt like coincidence becomes a strategy. Your guardian isn't just fighting people. They're fighting principles. They're fighting the very idea that you should suffer. They are fighting the cosmic agreement that allowed you to be targeted. They're rewriting contracts you didn't even know you signed. 8 hours ago, they filed a different kind of paperwork. A declaration that your season of suffering is over. A notice that your time of testing is complete. An announcement that anyone who comes for you now comes for them. And trust me, nobody wants that smoke. You'll see it in small ways first. That chronic pain suddenly easing. That anxiety lifting without explanation. That heaviness you've carried for years just gone. These aren't random healings. These are battle scars being erased by someone who decided you've bled enough. Then you'll see it in bigger ways. Opportunities that were dead suddenly resurrect. Relationships that were toxic suddenly end. Paths that were blocked suddenly clear. Money that was stuck suddenly flows. It's not magic. It's strategy, executed by someone who plays chess while your enemies play checkers. But here's what you need to understand. This protection comes with a price, not for you to pay. That's already been handled, but for you to honor. When someone goes to war for you, you don't get to stay the same. You don't get to remain comfortable in your dysfunction. Your guardian is clearing the path, but you have to walk it. They're removing the obstacles, but you have to move forward. They're fighting the demons, but you have to stop inviting them back. This is partnership, not rescue. This is elevation, not salvation. Some of you might even feel resistance to this help. Part of you got comfortable in the struggle. Part of you built an identity around being targeted. Part of you doesn't know who you are without enemies. That part needs to die. Today, right now, in this moment, because your guardian didn't risk everything for you to stay small. They didn't declare war for you to remain a victim. They didn't unleash heaven and hell for you to go back to sleep. They did it because they see the giant inside you, the one you've been too scared to let out. In the next few days, you'll be tested. Not by your enemies, they're being handled, but by your own expansion, by your own growth, by your own power returning so fast it makes your head spin. Can you handle victory? Can you handle protection? Can you handle being chosen? Here's the final truth bomb, the one that changes everything. Your guardian? They're not just fighting for who you are. They're fighting for who you're about to become. They see the timeline where you win, where you rise, where you lead, where you change everything. They see you 3 months from now, unrecognizable in your power. They see you 6 months from now, standing in rooms you couldn't enter before. They see you 1 year from now, living a life your enemies swore you'd never have. That's what they're fighting for. That's what they declared war to protect. 8 hours ago, while you were unaware,